Uh, we shall now introduce our speakers for today. I would request Sanjay ji to keep his camera on while I put on the slides to share to introduce them both. So, Jai Baba, everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Sanjay and Mr. Mohan Kher, who will share with us their experiences and stories of being born and growing up in a Baba lover family. They are the sons of Srimati Asha Kher and Shri V.J. Kher, who Baba lovingly called as Vinu, and the nephews of Shri N.G. Kher, who Baba lovingly called as Nana. Nanaji Kher was the caretaker of beloved Baba Samadhi and greeted all pilgrims with a welcome home. Sanjay Kher was born in Nagpur and his parents and uncle took him for Baba's darshan first time in Guru Prasad when he was a child. He worked with the Tata Electric Company and retired in 2014. He now does occasional stints as a consultant along with his work in Baba's cause and love for the Nagpur Meher Baba Center in various ways. His younger brother Mohan Kher was born in Nagpur and also had Baba's darshan as a child. He worked at the Tata Motors in the R&D facility and has been mainly occupied with the study, interpretation and the Marathi translation of Baba's literature. Welcome home, Sanjay ji and Mohan ji, to our East West Baba family. And I would like you to unmute and begin. Jai Baba, everyone.
जय बाबा रोशनी अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय and loving Jai Baba to all of you. We are thankful to constant companion, family and circle of friends for giving us this opportunity. My brother Mohan and myself shall take you through the journey of Kher Families Association with beloved Baba. This association dates back to almost 80 years now, and this has given us an opportunity to relive those precious memories. From our family, Nana Kher was the first to seek out the blessings from Avatar Meher Baba. He was our uncle. Subsequently, through him, all our family, including my parents, Vinu Kher and Asha Kher, and my grandparents, came under the ambit of beloved Baba's love and compassion. Nana Kher needs no introduction to Baba world. Though he passed away way back in 1999, Baba lovers all over the world still fondly remember him, his loving embrace and greetings of welcome home, with which he addressed lovers who came to Baba's Samadhi in 1970s, 80s and 90s. Beloved Baba shared some priceless moments with our uncle and also with my parents, and we shall share some of these with you today. First, let me give a short family background. My grandfather retired as a district judge and settled in Nagpur. He had two sons, Nana Kher and Vinu Kher, both of whom came in beloved Baba's close contact. Both my uncle Nana Kher and father Vinu Kher had spiritual inclination right from their childhood and were fond of reading spiritual literature. Once during his school days, after hearing about Sadguru Upasni Maharaj and wanted to lead a spiritual life, Nanaji left for Sakori without telling his parents. Upasni Maharaj, after coming to know that the boy has traveled to him without the knowledge of his parents, lovingly but firmly told him to return after giving his blessings. Nanaji's first darshan of beloved Baba on 27th May 1944. In his college days, Nanaji came into contact with Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, who compiled and edited the first edition of Meher Baba's discourses. Dr. Deshmukh also gave him some Baba literature and took him once to listen to a talk by Princess Norina Machbeli, who was one of Baba's Western Mandali. Having been introduced to Baba's literature and his teachings from two of Baba's prominent disciples, Nanaji's heart became very restless to have Baba's darshan. Encouraged by Dr. Deshmukh, Nanaji wrote a letter to beloved Baba asking for his darshan. Baba replied through Adike Irani that he sends his blessings and that he will be called for darshan at an appropriate time. Baba advised Nanaji to be in his touch through Dr. Deshmukh and in the meantime read his books and spread his message of love and truth while he waited for Baba's darshan. This happened in 1939-1940. Accordingly, Nanaji began calling on some students in various college hostels and distributing booklets and sharing Baba's messages. As years passed by, Nanaji was more and more inwardly drawn towards Baba. In May 1944, Nanaji was in Pune for some work. At that time, he heard that Baba was in Nagpur and was granting interviews to those interested in meeting him. This news disheartened him and he again wrote to Baba. This time he got a reply through Eraj uncle, who wrote that he was getting married in Ahmednagar and promised that he will arrange his meeting with Baba on the eve of his wedding. He also invited Nanaji for the wedding. As promised, Eraj uncle arranged for Baba's private interview at Akbar Press on 27 May 1944. Nanaji later described this meeting to us. The moment beloved Baba's face came into his sight, he felt an atmosphere of love and peace. He felt that he has known Baba as his own since a long time. Baba confirmed his unspoken thoughts by assuring Nanaji that I know you and I love you. Baba then inquired, what do you want? In the previous years, Nanaji had studied Baba's literature and he immediately replied, I want spiritual freedom. Baba looked highly pleased with this answer and asked, I will give you what you want, but you will have to follow my orders. Nanaji replied, I am fully prepared to do as you say. At this point, Baba gave a glimpse of his omniscience and said, it is not easy to obey me. You have a quick temper and you will not be able to obey me if you are unable to control it. My uncle really did have a temper and he kept quiet. Baba then gave him instructions like observing a fast and feeding a beggar with his own hands every Sunday and repeating Baba's name for a fixed time every day and leading a simple and pure life. Nanaji promised that he would abide by Baba's instructions. Baba then asked, is there anything else you want to ask? At this time, Nanaji was of marriageable age and his parents were persuading him for a suitable alliance. Hence he asked Baba, my parents want me to get married. What should I do? To this Baba replied, what is the hurry? Wait for 2 years and I will let you know. The meeting came to an end and Nanaji was overjoyed to have his first glimpse of beloved Baba and having received his instructions from him. He was also satisfied with Baba's answer and marriage as he never really wanted to marry. After this meeting, Nanaji never wavered from his straight and narrow path of complete obedience and service to beloved Baba in his entire life. Now coming to his second meeting with beloved Baba. In February 1946, Baba had planned a 1-month meeting for selected spiritual workers and Nanaji was one of them. However, Baba cancelled the plan and assured all that he would individually give certain instructions to these individuals to lead a life of love and truth. Having resolved to lead such a life, Nanaji sought an opportunity to receive the instructions from Baba. In the meantime, Nanaji had utilized Baba's instructions as a shield to counter his parents' persuasion about marriage. In this period, my father got married and my grandparents were somewhat distracted from this topic. However, this topic used to crop up even every now and then. Thus, Nanaji reached Adike Irani's office in December 1947. Baba asked Nanaji Baba asked Adiji to bring Nanaji to Meradad. Baba asked, "Why have you come?" Nanaji replied that he had come in response to Baba's circular about special instructions to spiritual workers. Baba looked happy. The first and foremost condition to be his worker, Baba explained, was to obey him implicitly. Nanaji said that he was willing to do this. Baba continued, "Will you do whatever I ask you?" Nanaji answered, "Yes, Baba." "Will you cut the throat of your father as soon as you go home if I ask you to do so?" Nanaji unhesitatingly replied, "Yes, Baba." With a smile on his face, Baba continued, "Leave that aside. Can you bring me rupees 2 lakhs for my work within 2 months?" Nanaji again replied, "Yes, Baba." "How?" Baba countered. Nanaji replied, "I would go from door to door to collect the required money." Baba then interjected, "You won't be successful if you follow this method, but if you ransack a good bank, you can do it in time. You can then give the money and surrender to the police and accept the imprisonment for your theft. Are you prepared for this?" Nanaji said yes with determination. "Go and do it then," Baba ordered. At this, Nanaji immediately turned and started walking away. Baba then called him back and expressed his pleasure at Nanaji's readiness and determination. Our uncle later told us that Baba was testing him for his determination to implicitly follow his orders. With these exchanges, Baba was internally strengthening his resolve to a life full of service and obedience as Baba's spiritual worker. It is no joke to lead a life of surrenderance to the avatar. We have been told by some people living in Mehrabad after Baba dropped his body that Nanaji's life of steadfast service acted as an example to them and inspired them to surrender to Baba's will. We feel the seed of this extraordinary life of service and obedience was sown by the mock test of Nanaji's obedience done by Baba in these few meetings. This meeting did not end with this mock test. Baba continued, "If you want to dedicate yourself to my cause, you must be free from personal liabilities." Nanaji brought up the problem of disposing of shop that he owned. Baba permitted him to transfer ownership into the name of his mother. Baba then asked Nanaji to visit Ahmednagar again on an appointed day. He was told to walk the distance from Nagpur to Ahmednagar barefoot and beg for his food. He was to carry no extra clothing, only the shirt and the pants he had on. Baba also told him that without hurting the feelings of his parents, he had to tell them that he was going to stay with Baba permanently. On his return to Nagpur, it was hard for Nanaji to convince his old and loving parents to permit him to walk barefoot. They requested Baba to withdraw this order and also withdraw the order of begging for food. Baba agreed. Nanaji's hopes of living with Baba as a resident Mandali thus got an apparent setback. Then there was a change in Baba's plan. He soon commenced the new life phase, and Nanaji's hopes of meeting him and leading a life under his personal guidance seemed to have ended. But then, as happened very frequently with Baba's plans about the relationship with his lovers and Mandali, Baba ensured that sufficient amount of suspense, separation, and uncertainty was built into it. As Baba has explained, uncertainty strengthens the resolve of the seeker, and physical separation, that is viraha, in fact, helps in strengthening the bond of love. After a year and a half, Baba called him for a 2 week stay at Mehrabad in November 1952 and then asked him to accompany him on his fiery free life tour. Putting aside the disappointment of missing a chance to be Baba's resident Mandali, Nanaji rededicated himself to the work of spreading Meher Baba's message of love and truth after he went back to Nagpur. To this end, Nanaji started visiting various households in Nagpur, as also local students, hostels, colleges, government offices with a view to spread Baba's name and his message. This was recounted to me by more than a few next generation Baba lovers. Many had already heard about Baba through Dr. C.D. Deshmukh and Pleader Pofli and his elder son Rambao Pofli. Many have recounted to me the initial introduction Nanaji gave to them in those days in the form of Baba's messages, photographs, lockets, books, booklets, and personal anecdotes. This small introduction ushered a virtual revolution in their lives, and now, after so many years, when they recount these stories to me, they cannot but express their deep gratitude to Nanaji. This effort culminated into formation of Avatar Meher Baba Spiritual Center in Nagpur, which became forerunner of many such centers to be opened in Vidarbha region. The center started organizing the weekly Savas programs and yearly celebrations of anniversary of birthday and silence day. Subsequently, Nanaji had the opportunity to attend the program at Mahabaleshwar on 16th October 1950 when Baba had stepped into the old life for a single day. At the end of the meeting, the details of which I will skip, Baba went outside to bathe the Mast Ali Shah, and those at the gathering followed and witnessed the event. With this, the program came to an end, and Baba asked everyone to leave. He embraced each man and he bid them farewell. Nanaji related that after the meeting concluded, while Baba was standing on the veranda saying goodbye, we saw an unusual glow and radiance on his face. He was very, very happy. As we departed, we could see this glow and radiance even from a distance. Now, about our father's meeting with beloved Baba. Nanaji Kher and Vinayak Gopal Kher, Vinu, as was fondly called in family, and later was referred to by the same name by beloved Baba and the Mandali, were two brothers with contrasting temperaments. While both were spiritually inclined from childhood, Nanaji, the elder of the two, had a temper as we have seen. Vinu was, however, the opposite. We, his children, my elder sister, myself, and my younger brother have never seen him angry. My mother relates that he had to rehearse an angry speech so that during his teaching sessions, when the occasion demanded, he would get angry. He would act angry. He was a meritorious student throughout his career. He did his MSc in physics and later did his research under Dr. Thatte in Nagpur and was awarded PhD. He guided a number of students, research students in various fields of physics during his long academic career as a professor of physics. Naturally, Vinu had an intellectual bent of mind. In his childhood, he was influenced by his maternal uncle Bhayu Mama, who acquainted him with various stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavad. Bhayu Mama was a disciple of Tajuddin Maharaj, and in the childhood years, both Nana and Vinu were, so to say, under the indirect influence of perfect masters. Hence, his intellect never came in the way of his firm belief in God. On the contrary, it helped him to explore the philosophical aspects of religion and the metaphysics behind the rituals and traditions. As a younger scholar, while he kept an open mind, he was not the one to get easily influenced by others unless he had the conviction himself through his own experience. When Uncle Nanaji Kher met with Meher Baba and surrendered to him, naturally he wanted to impart the same conviction to his younger sibling. However, Vinu did not immediately embrace the elder brother's conviction. In fact, a good 8 to 10 years had to pass for Vinu to be caught in the net, so to say, of beloved Baba's love. Many a times did Nanaji ask Vinu to read Baba's literature. However, Vinu relented only after some time. But when he did start reading Meher Baba's messages and discourses, the force and clarity in Baba's words compelled his attention. He once told me that whether Baba is joking or serious, whether he is working or enjoying leisure, whether he is suffering or was in happy mood, as can be ascertained from Meher Baba's anecdotes, one is struck with the consistency and poise of his spiritual genosis. Eventually, Vinu's time to meet came when he was asked by Nanaji to accompany him to Mehrabad in November 1952. The occasion was beloved Baba's preparatory phase for his visit to various centers in India during his fiery free life phase. Nanaji and many other arrangement walas had been called for the arrangements regarding the proposed visit to Nagpur and Amaravati and various other places in India. Vinu was dazzled by beloved Baba's powerful presence, eloquent and ever-changing expressions on his face. He was moved beyond words by the atmosphere of his love. He was surprised at the speed of his fingers as they moved on alphabet board and almost instant translation into spoken words by Eraj uncle. The effect was of instant communication which gave a lie to his silence. The fateful day was 9th November 1952. What was beloved Baba's reaction? On seeing Vinu, Baba remarked to Nana, "What a beautiful soul. Nana, your brother is quite a good man and I like him very much." This is a wonderful compliment from the highest of the high. Beloved Baba's nazar was very penetrative and he could look at the innermost being of a person in an instant. Baba once said that he sees your body only as a shadow and his attention first goes to the inner being as reflected in the color of sanskaras. What he saw in Vinu must have been brought forth this remark. Now I will request Mohan to continue further. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Mohanji, please continue. That is Mohanji. Is that the Delhi center, Sanjay ji?
Huh?
Is this a
Please.
Delhi center?
No.
Okay. Or this picture where Mohanji is standing, where is that picture? Which center is it?
I don't know from where they have clicked this picture.
Okay, okay. All right.
Is it there or is it not there?
Yes, I saw him.
You saw him.
Yes, I saw him. Mohanji, you are there? I think has he got disconnected, or could you call him, Sanjay ji? Or... Yeah, there. Mohanji, please unmute. Mohanji, please unmute. You need to unmute.
Jai Baba.
Yes, Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, fine. So let me continue from where Dada left off. I will now relate some other incidents. Are you able to hear?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
we can hear you.
So it so happened that once our whole family was there in Mehrazad, and after Baba dropped his body, and Baba's sister Mani auntie told us that Baba's mood used to change for the better on occasions when Vinu came in beloved Baba's presence. So that's what she told us. So for this reason, the Mandali were very fond of Vinu, and Eraj used to affectionately call him Vinoba and lovingly ask, "Amche Vinoba kashe आहेत?" The Mandali's love for Baba was so deep that whichever thing or person helped improve Baba's mood used to be their favorite afternoons when Baba and Vinu and he would participate. On one such occasion, Baba asked Vinu, Vinu, you are a scientist. Tell me, why, in spite of wide-ranging propaganda and the effective modern means of family planning, the world population keeps on increasing? So this question was suddenly put to him, and as a scientist, Vinu had no answer to this query and knew that Baba wants to explain something profound. So, and he just making him a means to disclose something. That's what Vinu felt. And so he kept quiet. Baba then himself explained, like our Earth, there are millions of such planets. When evolution has progressed to various stages of development. However, there are 18,000 Earth-like planets or exoplanets as they are called, where evolution has reached up to human consciousness. That means there are many more planets where the evolution has reached to, let's say, tree or animal stage. These planets have human beings, that is 18,000 planets have human beings with higher intellectual power than we have. That's what Baba explained. And therefore, civilization which are scientifically much more advanced than our Earth. This is what Baba is explaining to Vinu and to all gathered there. For all this scientific advance, however, the human beings on these planets lack the qualities of heart and capacity to love. Thus, some of these 18,000 Earths with human beings are developed with 75% intellect and 25% quality of the heart. Some others have 100% intellect, but zero quality of the heart. In contrast, our Earth has more or less balance, 50% development of the quality of the head and of the heart. This is the reason that only on our Earth is the involution of consciousness possible, and our Earth is unique in the whole universe, as only on this Earth the Avatar and the Sadguru are born. In this Avataric advent, people on these planets get naturally, unconsciously get attracted to the Earth when the Avatar comes, so that the spiritual progress is facilitated just by my physical proximity. This is what Baba explained, that when his Avataric advent happens, other souls get attracted from other planets. And that's why Baba said, this is the reason why there is population explosion when I am in your midst. This is also the reason why in this Avataric cycle, with the help of these extraordinary intellects, tremendous scientific progress has occurred, which has not occurred for past millennia. And this is true actually. So this is the incident that my father used to relate to us. Now, if we look at the demographic figures and the research now available, the annual rate of population in the entire history of mankind was at its peak in the decade of 1960s. That is around 2.2% in 1963. And this is highest known in recorded history. And the amazing thing is this annual rate is rapidly declining since 1963 to the present. Let's say in 2020, it is only 1.1% per annum. That is 1.1% increase in population every year. And it is further set to decline. So this rapid growth of population has slowed down considerably after 50 years. And which is an amazing thing for demographers to explain. As Baba has pointed out, the tremendous scientific progress of this century is also unique in recorded history. So like this, there used to be discussions on science and similar topics when Vinu was there, and Baba used to find this occasion sometimes to explain some profound truths. Vinu had a rare conviction in Baba, beloved Baba, and it was something to be seen, to be believed. We will continue on this. I will narrate some more incidents. As already recorded, beloved Baba was soon to visit Amravati and Nagpur. and both places Baba graced our house. At Nagpur, at that time, Vinu and family were housed in Amravati because my father was a professor in Amravati VMV college, and Nana, my grandparents, and others lived in Nagpur. Where the house that is called is Meher Bhavan. With his presence, and soon the whole Kher family, elders and children, were to be included in Baba's embrace after his visit. It was really after the visit of Baba to our Nagpur house and Amravati house that our whole family actually got drawn to Baba. Particularly my mother Asha Kher and my grandmother Godu Tai Kher came into the ambit of his love. And through them, actually, we also indirectly got, into the net of Meher Baba. Actually, when Baba visited our house in Nagpur and Amravati, we were yet to be born. Only my elder sister was a child at that time. The visit to our house happened in December 52 and January 53. Baba had planned this tour as a part of his bigger tour on the fiery free life at that time. My father Vinu, my mother Asha, and daughter Veena were living in a quarter allotted to him as a professor of physics. Rest of the Kher family was, as I told, along with Nana Kher, was living in Nagpur in a house named Meher Bhavan. The visit was planned by Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, Nana Kher, Pofri family, and others, along with the Mandali's guidance and consultation with Baba. The plan was to visit Amravati from 28 December to 24 December 1954. And visit to Nagpur happened in the first week of Jan 1953. These days were packed with hectic activities which Baba normally used to have, with must contact, house visits, visit to public institutions, and mass contacts. So during his visit to Amravati, there was really actually our house in Amravati was a bungalow allotted to my father, as I told you, where my father was a professor. The quarter was a single-storied bungalow, and it was built on a big scale. There was generous space on all sides, and a huge pandal was erected for Baba and his darshan program, and a kirtan program was organized, and one Buaji Bua was doing his kirtan. Of the siblings, only my sister was there, my Veena, and we were yet to be born, and she had a great time being carried by the Mandali in Baba's car from here to there. So she had this good fortune to be with Baba at that time. On the fateful day when the avatar of the age was to grace the house of Vinu family, that arrived on 21st December 1952 at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. The morning darshan began with kirtan performed by Jairam Bua, in the course of which he questioned Baba's silence. No one took much notice, but Baba actually answered him, and he said, "In spite of my silence, I speak through all the tongues in the world." This is what happened. Beloved Baba also graced us with a house visit and took some refreshments in our Amravati house. Out of the food items specially prepared by my mother, Asha Kher, Baba particularly liked Kajuchi Koshimbir. The Kajuchi Koshimbir, Baba told Asha that, "Asha, you make very good chutney. It is quite different and I like it very much." Baba was usually very short on appetite and partook of very small portions, and whatever portions he partook, sometimes he left it to others so that they could take his prasad. The chutney Baba liked was really Koshimbir, a side dish made of sweetened curd and mashed cashew nuts, prepared with jeera tadka. My mother, Asha, prepared it with love and also mindful of Mandli's instruction that food should not be give a hard bite to Baba, and as Baba had difficulty in chewing. Baba especially praised this preparation and asked Mandali to note the recipe from Asha. On this occasion, Baba had this conversation with my mother. He asked my mother, actually he showed his concern and asked her, why do you look so frail? My mother did not reply to this. Then Baba came near her and in a loving gesture cradled her face and lifted her eyelids as a doctor would do, and commented that the eyes are very anemic and lack vigor. After this, Baba lovingly asked her, do you sleep properly at night? My mother replied, no, Baba, I have disturbed sleep. Baba then inquired, why is it so? Do you worry too much? And Baba's gestures were very eloquent. So he touched his head and moved his fingers in such a way that she understood without interpretation. Beloved Baba had instantly seen through my mother's temperament to worry. My mother was given to worrying actually. And Baba had seen that and he made this comment. Baba made another gesture and said, leave all these meaningless worries. Remember me and keep me in your heart. That's what he told my mother. And with these words, beloved Baba wrapped her in his loving embrace. My mother remembers that she had an especially sound sleep the following night, and thereafter she slept soundly. On later occasions, when she did worry over other things and situations, my father would always remind her, Baba himself has become your doctor. What is there for you to worry? My father had only two interests in life. One was physics and the other was Meher Baba. He could see only with one eye, and the other functioning eye too had pigmentations on the retina and hence had limitations like central vision and limited night sight. Because of this and also because of his nature, which can be summarized as a genuine forgetfulness of things worldly, my mother played a crucial role in the family. My grandfather was afflicted with paralysis, and grandmother, while active throughout her life, could always count on my mother in her old age. Mother had a remarkable capacity of managing all her responsibilities in our joint family. My grandparents and also my father and uncle would always depend on her for practical necessities. Besides the family responsibilities, she proved to be an asset for my father and my uncle in their activities relating to Meher Baba Center in Nagpur. And nothing is ever hidden from all-knowing one. And beloved Baba, during his introduction, planted a seed of love in her heart, and also in future interactions carefully nurtured this bond of love. This love he sustained in her, and he also remembered her. He was to remember her on many future occasions, which I will tell you briefly. After a gap of 10 days, when Baba visited our Nagpur house, here also Baba was staying in another bungalow nearby, and Mandli were staying with us in our house, and Baba had come for refreshments, for dinner actually. So my grandmother Godutai Kher had made so many varieties of main and side dishes for lunch, and Baba observed, Godu, you have made so many dishes. My appetite is full, and I appreciate it. Raising the preparations all the time, he partook of some of them. My grandmother was very fond of cooking food and loved to feed people and remember everyone's favorite dish. In the midst of the meal, Baba observed, where is Asha? I do not see her here. My grandmother, we called her Motti, replied, Baba, she is in the house only and arrived from Amravati to prepare for your visit in Nagpur. But Baba did not leave it there. Baba said, but then I don't see her here. Why she is not here? And then Motti had to say, could not avoid the topic and said that Baba, my Asha is in self isolation as was the custom then during the monthly period for women. Baba then said, it may be your custom. I don't follow such customs. And he said, I want Asha to prepare the dish that she had made in Amravati for me. Please bring her in my presence. And then Mothi had no choice. My grandmother had no choice. And my mother had to be brought in front of Baba, quite reluctantly. It was such a time because of it was a mini revolution for our traditional household for a woman to prepare a food item for God Himself at such a time because of false ideas about purity. When my mother came in front of Baba, Baba said, Asha, what do you take me for? I am the ocean of purity. This is very important message Baba is giving. Through my mother, I think he is giving to the whole world. At that time, the tradition bound India. And I believe he has given this message in many places in Andhra tour also. Baba said, Asha, what do you take me for? I am the ocean of purity. Even if you throw all the impurities in the world, my ocean of purity will remain pure as ever. Go prepare the dish you had prepared in Amravati and which I liked so much. How fortunate my mother was to receive such loving admonishment. She then prepared what Baba demanded and Baba ate it and embraced her with love. Really, the avatar comes to establish a new world order, which is to free the world of all prejudices, customs, practices which have become irrelevant. One reads that Baba has repeated this lesson in many other households in his advent, and it is due to this force of his love and awakening that we see that gradually such prejudices are getting wiped out in coming generations. The force of tradition is tremendous, and Baba has to work and spend his time and energy to make us free of these false traditions of ideas and wrong ideas of purity. He is gradually awakening this relation in mankind. I will tell you another small anecdote, which is also to do with how Baba works through his lovers for all of humanity. This happened in Mehrabad in 1958, and it also relates to my mother. Baba was then in seclusion and was on fast for his universal work. He had sent a circular to all his thousands of lovers about a spiritual event which was to occur. Baba had asked each of the lovers to reply back that they will continue to repose trust in him in spite of everything. Every day he used to read the replies received from his thousands of lovers patiently, and this reading used to happen for 5-6 hours every day. Sometimes even skipping lunch, Baba used to read these messages. And those messages were repetitive because what you can imagine what the lovers would answer that Baba, we repose our trust in you, etc., etc. But Baba was without getting tired. He used to read this, sometimes reread the messages. And in the night also, and this is what Bhav Kalchuri has related to us. In the night, he used to remember specific names of his lovers. And Bahuji had then to make a list of such names and send a circular again to them so that they could reaffirm their trust in Baba. Sometimes Baba used to spend hours in the night also to remember the names of his various lovers from different parts of the world. This is how Baba used to work. His ways were really unfathomable. Bhaoji remembers distinctly that one night he remembered Asha and asked Bhaoji to send her this circular. Bhaoji told Baba that the circular has already gone to the head of the family, that is Nana Kher. But Baba insisted that the circular must be sent to Asha specially. Like this, on many nights, Baba used to remember his lovers for hours together, and these names were then listed, and separate letters were to be sent to all these lovers the next day. Bhauji at that time thought that Baba is just spending, because Baba was, after the second accident, he was very painful, and that's why maybe he's not able to sleep and spending his time like this. That is what the thought came to him, Bhauji, at that time. And as we are aware, as we read in his biography, there are many times these unspoken thoughts Baba used to catch immediately, and Baba then called him, and Baba explained to Bauji very patiently, do not think it is my time pass. Do not think it is my time pass. What do you think I have come to this earth for? I have come to remember the love of my lovers. This is the message Baba was giving. Just as they remember me, so also I remember them. This is part of my universal work. and do not think it is something I do to just pass the time of night. So this is the, he made his lovers the occasion of his universal work, and implementation of this universal work we see that is happening even now, even after he has dropped his body. So my mother had the good fortune to be a part of this universal work Baba did through his lovers on two separate occasions. So this is, I thought that these are the stories that everybody will be interested in. My uncle Nanaji would often think of his missed opportunity to be permanently with Baba. Meher Baba is all knowing, and hence he gave us plenty of opportunities to Nanaji so that he felt as one of the Mandali. So Baba used to console him, not directly saying, but Nanaji used to understand this is why Baba is doing like this. During one Sahwas program, Baba praised Nanaji's service in Baba's cause by introducing him to various language groups. As he is Nanak Kher, he is one of my silent workers. On another occasion, Baba made a mention of his name as Mandali, as his own Mandali. Baba also called Nanaji to him for any and every occasion. After the late 50s and throughout the 60s, Baba had instructed Nana to be with him for 3 months during Guru Prasad's stay. Nanaji availed of this opportunity and never missed an opportunity of his yearly sahwas with Baba. For the rest of the year, he lived in Nagpur and served as the head of the Avatar Meher Baba Nagpur Center. On one such occasion, no, this is not in Guru Prasad, this is in Mehrazad. This is in Guru Prasad, sorry. On one such occasion, there was a wedding. My sister was to be married in 1968, in May 1968. A big function was planned in our house, and naturally, everybody expected that Nanaji should come and be present in the function. But Nanaji was, because it was May, month of May, and he never wanted to miss an opportunity to be with Baba. So Nanaji was in Guru Prasad, and he never told anything about the marriage, etc., and the expectation of the family to Baba. But Baba, being all knowing, Baba asked our uncle about the ceremony and how it is performed. Baba showed great interest how the ceremony, Hindu ceremony is performed and what happens, etc. So then Nanaji explained to him that there are some stanzas sung which are called Mangalashtakas, 8 stanzas, and they are in the honor of the bride and the bridegroom. And all present bless the couple by showering akshat. It is called akshat. It is actually colored raw rice. That raw rice is thrown on the bride and the bridegroom. Baba asked Nanaji then to recite the Mangalashtaka on the wedding day in Guru Prasad at that particular time. And Baba himself blessed the couple by throwing akshatas as his blessing. So my sister was fortunate like this to have, the remote participation of Baba from from Guru Prasad. So on another occasion in 1967, Bhauji was having night watch at Mehrazad, and Baba was not seeing anybody. There was strict seclusion, and suddenly, out of the blue, Baba asked Bhauji, "Who is your best friend?" And Bhauji is from Nagpur area near Nagpur, from Savner and that part of Maharashtra. And he used to, as a student, he used to be, sometimes visit our house, and he used to study there also daily. Before he became a permanent resident of Mehrabad Mandali. And that's why when Baba asked this question, the answer Babuji immediately gave was Nanak Kher, that he is my best friend. So then Baba said, "Do you feel lonely without him sometimes?" And Bhauji replied, "Yes, sometimes I remember him and would like to have his company." Then Baba asked Bhauji to send a telegram. This is in 1967 May, 1967 December, month of August. Then Baba asked him, "Why don't you call him immediately? Send a telegram to Nagpur to Nanak Kher, and he must come here for 1 month." And Bhauji then was very surprised. And then Bhauji asked Baba, "Baba, how is it? You are not, seeing anybody. very strict seclusion. You don't allow anybody to come here. And how are you calling Nanaji like this? Baba said, nothing doing, just do what I say. And the next day, the same topic opened, and other Mandli also reminded Baba that, Baba, you are in seclusion. How is it that you are calling Nana? Baba said, no, 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 just send us a telegram. So like that, this telegram was sent, and Nanaji came immediately after receipt of the telegram, and he stayed 1 month in Mehrazad as one of the resident Mandali of Mehrazad. Actually, probably Baba wanted to fulfill Nanaji's unspoken wish, because he had missed being a resident Mandali. So Baba wanted Nanaji to give that experience to him. So during this 1 month period, actually, Baba asked Bauji and Nanaji to be together all the time, even during dinner, everything. And actually, they got bored of each other's company. That's what Bauji relates. But at that time, during that 1 month period, Nanaji was asked by Baba to do even participate in night watch also. So actually, he gave Nanaji the experience of being the resident Mandali. The all compassionate Baba actually always responds to the unspoken wishes of his lovers. This is the this is the meaning I draw from this. And actually, when Baba dropped his body in 1969, my grandfather also had died by that time. And he felt that now he should not have any more ties left with Nagpur. And so then at that time, a person was required to oversee the samadhi and cleanliness and be there to receive Baba lovers coming from all over the world just after Baba dropped his body. And that's how he came to be accepted as the caretaker of the samadhi in 1969. And from 1969 to 1998, when he died, all these 30 years, Nanaji was unstinting in his duty and welcomed countless Baba lovers as they approached the beloved samadhi. Those early years after Baba dropped his body were very critical for thousands of first-time Baba lovers who had never seen Baba in the body in Mehrazad. Love and guidance to these newcomers. He had 5 of his own: Padri Kaka, Mohammad Mast, Mansari, Nana Kher, and Jangli Master. These 5 people were posted as if in his Baba's own natural way at Mehrabad to welcome these youngsters in the orbit of Baba's presence. Many of them still tell us of the sweet memories of their visit to Samadhi and hours they spent with Nanaji when he explained to them about various aspects of Baba's life and message. To them, Nanaji always stressed on the importance of service and taking Baba's name daily and every hour. At the end of the stories that I am relating to you, I would like to mention that due to the penance done by Nanaji and due to the guidance of my parents, we children, myself, my elder sister, elder brother, all had the opportunity to have Baba's darshan on many occasions in Guru Prasad. We all have received his love and guidance, as also our spouses and children who have never seen Baba. Our spouses were not from Baba families, but in the fullness of time, all of them, and also our in-laws, have also been introduced to the loving net of his love and protection. And we have all been blessed with our own Baba experiences. Because Baba keeps on, as he has said, that now he lives in the heart of his lovers. So if we remember him, he is there for us. And this is the experience our family, and like many countless other families, Baba families have. When Baba accepts one in his fold, he accepts each and every member of the extended family. This is what I would like to tell all people who have not had the physical darshan of Baba, or have come to Baba's contact after he dropped his body, that he never leaves anybody. And if the new member in the family comes, he is also somehow or the other drawn into his net. It may take time. It may not happen immediately. It may take years, but it does happen surely, because that is how Baba plans. This is what he has come for, and his manifestation is happening and will continue to happen. I think at this point, I would like to conclude, because there are many other stories, but this is what in short we would like to tell to you all. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Sanjay ji and Mohan ji, we would like you to share at least one each or two each of your personal experience, something that has, stuck with you for life, something that was your extraordinary moments with Baba through any time from.
Sure, Roshni ji. I think I will, because I am speaking, I will continue, then maybe Dada can take
Yes,
over.
yes. Please continue, and then Sanjay ji can share.
There are as you can imagine, there are really many stories, but I will tell you one touching story that I had experience with Baba. As I told you, I was born in 57, and when I had Baba's darshan, I was maybe 5 years, a child of 5 6 years, and not much. Not that I know much now, but at that time I was even a child. So at that time, to just a background to this story is, we came from a traditional Brahmin family, and in the evening, during the when the first light is lit in the evening, we had this custom of saying a prayer, which is called Shubham Karoti prayer. That is just for well-being and health of everybody in the family. After the prayer, we bow down to the elders. That is the custom. And I used to bow down to others. Everybody used to, just keep his hand on the head, etc. But when I used to bow down to my grandfather, who was paralyzed, sometimes he would not give attention, and then I will just keep my head there. That was my habit till he is aware of my presence, and he says, "Oh, Ashirwad, acha acha," like that, and touch my head. So this is my habit. And when I went to my parents and my uncle took me to Baba in Guru Prasad, um, fortunately for me, I persisted in this habit. And then when I bowed down to Baba, um, uh, and I would not get up, I just pressed my feet, my head on his feet. And really speaking, Baba then asked my mother, "What is he doing? Why is he not getting up?" And then mother related this my habit to beloved Baba, and Baba was I think happy with that, and then he touched my head and blessed me and embraced me. This is the story that I wanted to share. It's a touching incident. This is something, he sometimes makes use of our traditions also, and he elevates those traditions to the so that we remember him always. Jai Baba.
Baba. How sweet. Jai Baba. Sanjay ji, would you like to share?
Same occasion when we had gone to Guru Prasad. We were children. My elder sister was about 14, 15 years old. I am 7 years younger to her, and Mohan is 3 years younger to me. What I remember was a loving and powerful personality of beloved Baba in white sadra with a ponytail. That still comes in front of my eyes. So when we were there, I was standing beside my father, Mohan was standing beside mother, and our elder sister Veena, being elder, she was not with either father or mother. So Baba told, Mohan is father likes you and mother likes Mohan. What about Veena? Who likes you? So she couldn't say anything. Says Baba himself said, I like you. Come here. And he made her sit on his lap. Baba was very fond of our sister, right from our childhood. Then my father told me that Baba plays this, what you call, marbles. So I took some marbles with me to play with Baba. So first day I told Baba that I have brought marbles and I want to play with you because my father has told you that your aim is very perfect. So beloved Baba said that I am very busy today. Bring it tomorrow. This went on for 3, 4, 5 days. Ultimately, I was not able to play with Baba. Only that is the bad thing about it. But this went on. He used to tell me, bring it tomorrow, bring it tomorrow. And when I used to bring it, when I didn't bring it, he used to ask, where are the marbles? I want to play it right now. This is what is our remembrance. But if you want the stories we have from both our wives who were not from Baba families. So how they came to beloved Baba. Me and my brother I will not narrate a story, but we and my brother really wanted them to come to Baba's fold. But we wanted them to come is a different matter. It is only when the Baba wants them to come to you, that time has to come. And that is how those stories have come out. That may be in a separate talk or something else.
We have time, Sanjay ji. So if you would like to share this story, please do.
No, those are long stories.
Okay. But you know, Sanjay ji, it can be a learning, because so many times I know so many friends or younger lot of Baba lovers that they really get upset when they are persistently trying to get somebody or family people to Baba, and they are not wanting to believe or not completely on the same page as them, and it
Exactly.
really upsets them and hurts them. So if you have
Yes.
anything within this story, as you said rightfully, that only when Baba wants them to come, that story
Only
can
then it
help
happens.
everyone
However,
to.
howsoever we feel that my wife should become devoted to Baba, it is not going to happen. Just not possible. Only when he
True,
brings her or him into his fold, then only it happens. That is the main thing about it.
true,
Like
true.
when
So great.
yeah.
Please
So
continue. Please continue.
okay, in short, I will tell you that I got married to my wife sometime in 1981. She is not from Baba family. And when she came after marriage, we went to Merazad. Merazad, we met all Mandali. Mera Mai gave something to her. Everybody was very happy. And my wife was getting bored, in fact. So she went to garden, the Mehrabad garden. There she met Bal Nathu. And Nathuji said, why everybody is talking Baba, Baba, Baba? If you don't feel like, if you are not convinced, don't worry. Don't take his name. That was her first experience at Mehrazad. Then as years went by, I and like my brother also, we felt that they also should come in the fold of beloved Baba. So I used to read out Lord Mayor to her when she was cooking. She used to just listen, never expressed anything. And I used to leave it at that. But she was a devotee of Ganesh, Ganpati. She was devotee of Ganpati at that time. Then it so happened that I told her, if you don't believe in him, then he said, how a man can be God? Her question was, how a man can be God? I cannot accept man as a God. That was the basic premise. So then I told her that many people have challenged Baba. Why don't you challenge him? if you go ahead and challenge him, he is the highest of the high, the avatar of the age as per me. So you go and challenge. So once when she was traveling from Nagpur to Mumbai in a train, she remembered this, what I said to her. So she said, okay, let me try this. So in a compartment in front of her, one mother was there with a child, and child was fast asleep. So she said, Meher Baba, if you are God, this child should wake up and look at me. So that really God woke up and looked at her. So she, being a student of psychology, she felt this is a coincidence. Must be a coincidence. So after some time, again she said that, Meher Baba, if you are God, this child will get up and look at me. And though the child got up and looked at her eyes. But it is very hard. She had this experience. She came to Mumbai. She didn't tell me anything about this at that time. But she had this experience. So how a mind functions that you that we can see. Everybody's mind, not her. Then what happened? When we were staying in Tata Colony, there was a program of art of living. So some people came to my house and said that this is a good program, you must join in. So I told him that I am follower of Meher Baba and I don't intend to go. Baba has told me not to go anywhere, so I will not join. Then they said, your wife can join us. Then she was there. She said, yes, I will join. I will join this program. So next day she went to that program. And then this Sudarshan Kriya and all that they do, meditation. When she started doing the meditation, Meher Baba's name started coming from within and it never stopped. Even when she came home, it didn't stop. It went on for months and years, she says. So that was the time when she realized what Meher Baba is, what the avatar is. This is in short I am telling you. And she had some small experiences at home, but this is the major one.
Great. If you are not tired, we have time and we would love to hear them, Sanjay ji.
Now, Mohan can tell in short. His wife also
Okay.
had
And
experiences.
Meher Kripa ji is our nudging pillar of stories. She keeps reminding us to ask what we need to know. So she says there is some lovely train station story. What is that? Please let us tell
Train
us.
station story I will tell you. When Baba had come to Nagpur once, or when he was traveling from Nagpur to the south, I don't remember. You know Golwalkar Guruji, founder of RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. RSS, you know. So he was the founder of Rashtriya Swayamsevak, a Hindu right-wing organization, as they call it. So Golwalkar Guruji was also on the platform on the same day. And that is what my uncle told me. He then, when he saw beloved Baba, he just prostrated before him, full Sashtanga Namaskar. He did that and went away. I know only this much about that story. So, even Golwalkar Guruji, very right-wing organization head. So, Baba is for all. What we draw conclusion is, Baba is for all. He himself said, I am for the saints and the sinners and the kings and everybody. So Baba is for all.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Meher Kripa ji says Asha Tai lives with you, and if it
Yes,
is not
yes.
too much trouble, is it okay to hear just a Jai Baba from her and your loving wife if she is there too?
Wife is not here. She has gone to her Maike.
Oh, okay.
I will see whether she is awake. Just give me 1
Okay,
minute.
okay, ji. Sure. Mohan ji, you can share some story if you have till then. Yes, please unmute.
Okay, so Jai Baba once again. My story is very similar to my elder brother, though the details are different. Because my wife, in fact, actually, my wife, when we were married, was quite skeptical about Meher Baba, because she tells me that she was, she was afraid of the word Baba. She said that Baba in her mind was linked all hypocritical sense, etc. And when I used to pray to Baba, our prayer, my Parvatigar prayer and all, and I had this habit of in some of the her prayers also I used to put Baba's photo there. So she used to be upset and we used to have some quarrel. This was in early years of marriage. After my marriage, we had taken her to Mehrazad, and this is not the same occasion my elder brother went, because he married different time. And she was very, very, she saw these foreigners and saying Jai Baba, Americans, everybody, and that particular accent. And in her mind, the house of God was something like a hill on which there is a temple for the goddess and all that. And she was thinking, yeah, which atmosphere I have come now, why I was not married into a family where the goddess is worshipped, Durga Mata is worshipped. And she was thinking like that, and she was slightly separate from us. And this is just outside the Mandali hall, you know. And outside the Mandali hall, if you remember, diagonally opposite was Bal Nathuji's room. And he walked in from there and saw this girl. We had not introduced her to him at that time. Saw her, my wife, all alone. And he said, what is this? In Marathi he said, हे काय सगळे बाबा 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 करतात आहे ना, काहीतरीच करतात आहे. You understood? So okay,
You can translate that in English for everybody, that line.
Why everybody is saying Baba, 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 Baba? What is this happening? So like that. And my wife was very happy that at least somebody is there who is reading my mind. And she felt as if somebody, is from her mother's side is there representing her. And she was very drawn to Bayanathu. They had never met earlier. And she said, how did you read my mind? And then Bayanathu said, don't worry, if you don't feel that Baba is God, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Just feel at home. So like that he considered. But and as years went by, my wife's skepticism did not reduce. And it was in almost after 19 years. She was hale and hearty till that time. 2001, 2002. Actually, before that, actually she had many Baba experiences, but she was a very, a kind of a hatti, what do you call it? Very, very tough nut to crack.
Stubborn.
So, my आई आहे का दादा तिथे?
No, she is sleeping.
Okay. So I will continue. So we had, we had gone. I used to go every year to Baba's Samadhi, and I used to carry her. I sometimes used to force us to live with Nanaji for 2-3 days, and it used to be on the occasion of Dasera day. Dasera, and after that Kojagiri comes. Around that time, every year we used to go live with Nanaji for 2-3 days, have Samadhi darshan, etc. And one day, and Mansari auntie used to be there. And Mansari auntie was very loving to my wife, and she used to tell us many stories, etc. So one day my wife thought that, okay, why should I not put Rangoli in front of Baba's Samadhi, And Baba's Samadhi being Baba's Samadhi, no explicit religious things are not allowed there, really. But Mansari in her compassion allowed my wife to put some Rangoli there. And a big, big thing became out of that, and how Nana's daughter-in-law has put Samadhi, this Rangoli. But my wife, meaning Mansari, has said just to put one corner, but she has put slightly longer this thing. So this happened. And then my wife was really interested only in Muhammad Mas at that time. Because Nanaji's room was there, and Muhammad was, and he used to be there, and she used to go near Muhammad Mast, and he used to observe kya ho raha hai. And then what happened that Muhammad Mast used to just drive everybody away, so she used to drive her away also. But the caretaker of Muhammad, one lady there in Mehrabad, and my wife was pregnant at that time. So caretaker said, "Arey Muhammad, this is Nana's daughter-in-law, and why don't you bless Deva? Why don't you bless her?" So Muhammad said, "Yeah, she will be carry a male child," like that he said. And really, our first son was born after a few months, and then naturally we went again. And my uncle used to be always very angry, upset with her, why she is troubling Muhammad. But my wife never listened. So, after the child was born, then we went to the Muhammad Mosque, And Mohammed must then the same caretaker lady then carried the child and said, Deva, you foretold that the male child will be born. So look how beautiful he is. And Mohammed said, Naga naga means no. He is very delicate. Don't give it to me. But she just pushed that child, that is my elder son, in Muhammad's hand. And Muhammad said, yes. So he took him in his hands and then gave it back. So this is how, so these all through these experiences and many others that happened. My wife never believed in Baba in wholeheartedly. But only in 2001, 2002, she was afflicted very strongly with rheumatoid arthritis. It was the first time that she experienced physical pain, and it was a very strong attack at that time. And the medicines were not working. At that time, she actually, there was a lady besides our house, and that lady was performing some meditation of a German saint called, his name is Bruno Groening. So that meditation was supposed to, help my wife. And I was sort of, what is this she is doing? I am praying to Baba and she is praying to that German saint. But something happened in that meditation, and she saw Baba coming to our house as a video, as a video cinema happening. The motion picture. She saw Baba coming. Our house was on the second floor. So Baba came into the compound of the house along with two mandali she describes in his meditation she saw. And Baba came up. Then she says to Baba, Baba, come by the lift. She's seeing all this in the meditation. And Baba says, no, I'll take the stairs. So Baba came in our house. Then she prepared half cup of tea to Baba. And then all of us in her meditation only seeing that all of us bowed down to Baba. And she bowed down to Baba and asked Baba, Baba, will I get well? And Baba said, yes, you will get well. Then she asked once again, Baba, will I get well? So then Baba in her meditation tells me that, see, Mohan, she is not believing in me. Then Baba said, yes, you will get well, like that. And then Baba said, do my prayers 2 times. Because Mehra auntie had given, after when we went after our marriage, Mehra auntie had given Baba's beautiful photograph, silver photograph, and that is there in our temple room. And in that, in front of her only, she is seeing that meditation. So I think this is, the compassion of Baba and Mehra. And this is how, and then after that happened, then she never, because she saw Meher Baba because we also have a goddess Durga's photograph there, big photograph. And in front of that, Mehra had given that small Baba photo. So she used to see Baba in that photograph afterwards for many, many days. And then she never had any doubt then. But this has to happen after 18 years, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And truly,
I have compressed this story to 10 minutes. If I ask my wife to relate, it will take 2 hours.
we can have her for another session to tell Jai Baba. Jai Baba. But truly, as Sanjay ji said, that only when Baba wants that, we will come to him. We can be however close. And
we can only request him. That's all.
Yes.
But time he decides.
True. And such a blessing that we all are in Baba's world of love today. So fortunate are we, and so blessed.
And today is Dhuni Day also.
Dhuni Day.
Yes.
12th of the month. Yes.
And
Yes.
Congratulations to you for the anniversary of your parents.
Oh, they are with Baba up there, so I'm sure
I know, but wherever they are, I think they are together.
Yes, they both are together, happy and celebrating.
Yes. Jai Baba.
Yes, great. Jai Baba. Thank you so much, Sanjay ji and Mohan ji, for these wonderful.
We would like to hear your story also.
That is next Saturday. So next Saturday, I'm going to share as I complete 10 years with Baba.
Oh,
so
yes, sure. I will be there.
I will be there next Saturday to share Baba's love.
Sure,
So I
sure.
asked this question at an appropriate time.
Yes, and such a beautiful coincidence. Before I spoke to Sanjay ji and Mohan ji for this satsang, I didn't remember of him being the same person. So about a year or so back, I don't, maybe 2 years, a year and a half back, Sanjay ji was one of the person who called anybody saying Jai Baba, even if I have not, I don't know them. It is Jai Baba, okay, whatever it is. So Sanjay ji wanted a picture of Baba, and I was
Right.
traveling. I was not home, and I told him that don't worry, my little Mary Poppins cupboard of Baba full of goodies is always open for everyone. So my house child who works for me will be there, and you can feel free to go anytime that you want and pick up the picture. So we had not met,
Yeah,
you know,
that way.
and
Yes.
then when we spoke, now he reminded, oh, I am the Sanjay who had come to your house to pick up the Baba picture.
Because I remember that.
Oh, Baba, such a okay. So we will do the dhun, followed
Yeah.
by the Australian Aarti, and then unmute
Okay.
everyone. And please feel free to ask any questions or greet Mohanji and Sanjayji after the dhun and Aarti.
Meher Baba, 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 मेहर बाबा।
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart meher I give to you to keep. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the day. Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. We'll have 1 minute of silence. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
I missed it. Avatar Meher Baba.
मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. All wish to ask any questions to Sanjay ji and Mohan ji, or wish to greet them, please raise your hand or unmute, and then you can. We have Michelle's hand already up. Michelle, please.
Beautiful stories, but Marvin has a really sweet memory of Nana Care.
Yeah,
And
this is when I first came to Baba, a little over 30 years ago, and it was brand new. I never Well, I knew who Baba was about 2 months, and that's about it. I flew to India.
क्या क्या
What?
होनी चाहिए आज
Oh, they people have to mute.
May we ask everyone to mute, please, so that those who wish to ask, we can hear them clearly. Jai Baba. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was in India, and it was right in February, right before the season was closing. It was very hot, very dry, and it turns out that I was the only pilgrim on at the Samadhi at that time. And so I was sitting there in the portico and thinking of Baba, and Nanakir came up to me and he said, "I have to ask you a favor." And I said, "Oh, of course. What is it?" And he said, "Well, I have to do something for a few minutes, and so would you mind watching the tomb for me?" And I said, "Of course, I'll watch the tomb. What do I do?" And he said, "Well, all you have to do is if a pilgrim comes and they go in to take darshan, you offer them some prasad." And I said, "Oh, it sounds good. I'll try that." And I stood up and I began to wait as a watchman would. And Nanakir left, and maybe a half a minute at most passed, and all of a sudden a blue Chevrolet pulls up with 5 women, and I didn't know who they were. They all pile out of the car, and they get in line, and they go into the tomb. And I was thinking, what should I do? 2 or 3? And two pieces of prasad or 3. I didn't want them to feel like I was trying to give them too much candy. I didn't want to feel like I was trying to gyp them. So I'm trying to count it out in my brain, and they come out of the tomb one at a time, and they're standing in line, and the first one is Mani, and she holds out her hands, and I drop 3 prasad into her hands, and I go and I hug her and I say, "Welcome home." And she died laughing. She turns around and says, "Did you hear that? He told me welcome home." And of course, then I gave it to Meru and Goher and Katie and Arnavas. And they all the way to the car.
Good one.
Thank you, Nanakir.
Thank you for your beautiful stories and bringing Baba alive for us. Thank you so much, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
That was beautiful. Farishte, please unmute.
Hey, Baba, Mohan, Sanjay. Nice
Jai Baba.
to see
Jai
you
Baba.
here. Such a pleasure to see you, Mohan. We enjoyed your trip and visit to our first Baba Center in Chicago in 2010,
Yes.
I think it was, or 2011. So I
2011.
remember you and your family fondly, and your son and your wife.
Yeah.
These were amazing stories. I got to hear most of them. I'll have to catch the first part later on because we're recording these. And I'd never met your brother, so Jai Baba.
Jai Baba to you.
Jai Baba.
And we all look forward to, being able to come back to India soon, I hope. But these stories is what keeps us going. So thank you so much.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Yes.
Baba.
We also remember you very fondly.
Jai Baba, thank you.
Jai Baba.
You were one of our first guests at our first center, so I remember that clearly. Very sweet.
I cherish that memory. Actually, I was reminded of Mehrazad Mandali Hall when I visited the Chicago Center, and I
so
remember you. So I think that was a very fond memory because you recreated the Mehrazad atmosphere there in Chicago.
Jai Baba, thank you. That was very sweet and encouraging. It's all Baba's grace.
Jai-
All right.
Jai Baba. Jai.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for it. We have Merchant Nori ji.
Jai Meher Baba, Mohan and Sanjay ji.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
This is Nori from Hyderabad. Thanks for reminding me and recapitulating my past.
Yes.
memory.
Meher, you wanted to ask something?
Can we hear some more stories?
Yeah.
They're
Kodi.
really lovely stories. I
And
really
I
like to hear
remember.
them.
And also remember the days of Venu Care. You'll always used to ask me to, why don't you translate the Telugu literature into English, the story. And he's also one thing is about Venu Kaka, I used to always say to sing group songs a lot at Meher Bhavan,
Yeah.
rather than individual songs. So
Yes.
I used to remember you have made me thanks, reminding me to Sri Ram Bahu, Popli
Yeah.
family,
Yes.
Lakar Deshpande, and Naik Bhai, Vaman Rao Naik,
Yes.
and everything. It was, my stay was 82 to 85. And at that time, I enjoyed a lot in Meher Bhavan. And even your tenant, Dr. Shastri and Mangalatai.
Yes.
Dr. Shastri and Mangalatai, and your sister's father-in-law, Deshpande, is popularly known as Mananche Slok Deshpande.
Anna Deshpande.
Anna
Yeah.
Deshpande, Manache Shlok.
And I think after a long time, I met Mohan along with Vijay Group in Kirki Group or something is at Meherabad. And please convey my love to Ashatai. Jai Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Baba ki jai.
See you soon with Baba's willing. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Baba ki jai.
Lovely. Is there anyone else who would like to ask anything?
Me.
Yes, please, Kundaji. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
संजय आणि मोहनजी. जय बाबा.
जय बाबा.
तुम्ही मला नाही ओळखत, पण मला खूप इच्छा होती आईला बघायची. मी नाफडे, कुंदा नाफडे.
तुमचं नाव
कदाचित नावानी माहित असेल.
माहिती आहे.
शाळेतून रोज घरी येत होते आणि आमचं जेवण तिकडे होत होतं. आम्ही तुमच्या आईला आशा मामी म्हणत होतो. आणखी नानांचं आमचं खूप.
तुम्ही आमच्या बाळदादाला ओळखत होता ना?
बाळदादा, हो, म्हणजे आमचा सख्खा भाऊ आहे तो मोठा. बाळदादा, वहिनी, हो. आणखीन आईची मला पाहायची इच्छा होती. आता तुम्ही सांगा. हो, नाही हरकत नाही. नाही, मग कदाचित आठवण असेल माझी तर.
हो,
तुमच्याबद्दल आई सांगते नेहमी.
माझी शाळा तिकडेच होती, अगदी घराच्या जवळ. तर रोज शाळेतून मी पहिले घरी येत होते, मग घरी जायची. मी होते चौथी पाचवीची गोष्ट आहे. मी आता सध्या दुबईला असते.
अच्छा.
मग आईला नमस्कार आणि जय बाबा. आणि तुमचं ज्या दिवशी व्हिडिओ रिलीज झाला, मी त्याच दिवशी पाहिला.
मागे
नानांशी खूप प्रेम होतं. नानांची खोली मिळाली होती मला एकदा राहायला मेहराबादला.
डॉक्टर कुंदाताई, 1 मिनिट. जय बाबा.
जय बाबा.
कुंदाताई, प्लीज, फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ ऑल, प्लीज स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. डॉक्टर कुंदा.
Okay.
Jai Baba. Thank you.
I was just about to say that.
Jai Baba to everyone. When I was young, I was a third school standard student in the school, and I used to go to Nana's house every day while coming back to home. And the Sanjay's mother, I used to call my auntie. I wish I would have seen her. So I'm just giving the old, reminding the old memories.
I will convey this.
Okay,
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Nice to listen both of you and see.
Yeah,
If
same here.
Baba wish, sometime we will meet.
Surely.
Sure.
If you come to Pune, please visit us.
Definitely,
Jai
definitely.
Jai
Yes,
Baba.
sure.
Jai
Okay, Jai
Baba.
Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Kundaji.
Jai Baba
We have.
everyone. Jai Baba everyone. And thank you,
Jai
Roshani.
Baba.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Jai Baba Mahameher.
Thank
Thank
you, Baba.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Jai
you,
Baba.
Baba. Meher Kripa ji, you wanted to share, or was that what you shared already?
Jai Baba. No, Kunda Tai means her father D.Y. Nafde from Bhopal, no?
Yes.
So this on this platform means Myrtle Beach platform already sons and daughters of Kunda Tai's brother has already performed Ananta Nafde and all that, and they have many fond memories. That's what I was telling. And thank you so much to these brothers who were not easily ready to come in. And there are many small big incidents, and see, whatever we come to Baba Avatar, it's not ours. These memories take us in the company of our beloved, so it is precious for all to hear it, right? Always agree to this. Well, thank you,
Yes.
Sanjay,
Yes.
thank you,
Thank you,
Monday, and
Prabhupada. It was due to us that due to you that we could
Yeah,
make it
exactly.
here today.
no, it's
Yeah,
Baba
exactly.
only. It's Baba only who gets all this this way or that way. And thank you, Roshni.
Thank you, Roshni Tai. Thank you.
No, thank you only to Baba. Thank you. And this picture of Baba, I always see it to make feel good, where that Baba is pleased by whatever that we are doing. And to please my own self, I see this picture always to make me feel, okay, Baba, you are pleased. Thank you.
Beautifully.
This picture always reminds me of the Wah. Very nice. So
Really.
thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba, for everything.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, everyone. We close the East West Satsang today, which has gone longer because we had time. And see you all next weekend. But see you all tomorrow. We have two lovely events again tomorrow. Before the Aarti, 6 p.m. IST, we have the Baba chanting and the breathing 7 realities meditation that we are going to do for 4 Sundays. And after the Aarti tomorrow, we are having the screening of the unique silence of Avatar Meher Baba, a film that Baba gifted to make in 2015 for the 95th Silence Day celebrations that were there in Mehrabad. So we will see the film, and then after that we will discuss why and what is the importance of Baba's silence in this Advent, and then share from everyone else who would like to share what it means to each one of you with Baba's silence and breaking of his word in our hearts. So please be there with us tomorrow. Thank you so much. And yes, in between that, we have our daily Aarti. So please be there throughout. Jai Meher Baba, everyone. Good night in his love, and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, Sanjay ji and Mohan ji, once again for the lovely
Thank you,
share.
Roshni.
Thank you.
Baba, love to your family and everyone. Jai Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba
Meher
ki
Baba
jai.
Jai.
Avatar Meher Baba ki
Baba
jai.
ki Jai.
Avatar Meher
Avatar
Baba
Meher Baba
ki
ki
jai.
Jai.
Amen. And
Good
good
night.
to see you one day.
Thank you.
Good chat with
Jai
you.
Baba.
Wonderful.